I'm reading dense hive signatures in a facility up ahead.
Devota is gathering a swarm.
We might be walking into a trap.
That's the gig. We carry the light where no one else can.
You know, another actual MMORPGs tutorial, which is a joke, being sarcastic. Uh, it's typically in the DLC that's currently active in the game. You know, so all this like new light stuff that I'm doing right now for a character, an alternate version of my hunter. Uh, I would most likely be doing it on the Derelict Leviathan, or I would be doing it in the Throne World, which is this year's expansion. And more importantly, since this was my second character, the game would have offered me the option to skip the tutorial and just go straight into the gameplay. But that's what a real MMO RPG does, not what Bungie does with Destiny. Bungie's idea is force you through the tutorial because this will do three things. One, it'll discourage you from re-rolling this character again so you can exploit some opening chapter benefit like we all did with the Dares to Eternity. Two, it keeps you playing. It gets you in the game and playing for a really, I think the quickest I've ever gone through this all has been like an hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe? I think about like that, somewhere around 100 minutes or so. And, yeah, and three, just to reaffirm to you that you are here to grind. That's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be grinding. Because, I mean, honestly, it doesn't even really, in my opinion, or actually not my opinion, objectively speaking, I'm not going to give you my opinion. I'm going to give you my empirical observations, which is a redundancy in terms, but it sounds fancy, so I'm going to say it. Nothing in this mode right now, nothing in these missions, nothing in the fetch questings and things like that you do, not even the introduction to the vendors at the tower, serve any function of telling you how the game operates, what mechanics are in play, and what you're expected to do as a player. Not, everybody kind of gets it as the Guardian, but as a player, what are they expecting you to do? What are they hoping you will do? And all they actually are ever hoping you will do is just grind their game. Bungie devs want to push the whole aspirational content, pinnacle experiences, blah blah blah, endgame, blah blah blah. But there really isn't. There isn't really. There is aspirational content, but there is no endgame. Not when you come out with an expansion and new seasons every, through a few months or every year. It's not. There is no such thing as an end game for a game like Destiny. It's going to go on and on and on until it no longer does. Like Asher Mir says, we were a fire team until we weren't anymore. And I miss that character. I keep that little ghost that's shaped like a harpy, specifically just to remind myself that Asher might be a Vex mind right now and doing awesome. But yeah, so do I feel kind of put out by having to go through the boot camp, Guardian boot camp? I would much, personally, I would much rather this be an actual boot camp for Guardians rather than this flimsy ass attempt at narrative introduction, because I think that's why it feels so forced and fake and nonsensical and redundant and ridiculous and all the other R's, is because it's just a flimsy attempt at some kind of narrative introduction, and you don't need it. I mean, let's be honest. I would have to say the majority of people who come to Destiny are looking for the PvP, and of course, in order to be effective in PvP, you need access to all your abilities. So The only way you can get access to all those abilities is, by completing certain stages of the new light quest. And on top of the prohibitive amounts of glimmer that you must have fucking spent on them, I think that's kind of like, you know, you go to Ikora Ray, who's supposed to be your mentor, one of your mentors, and she's like, "Yeah, I'll do it for you for $100." Can you imagine that? I mean, yeah, okay, you pay a teacher to teach you, but I mean, if this is a society that is here, I mean, I don't pay. If I were to join the Navy or the Army, uh, I wouldn't be paying them to join. They would be paying me to join. They would be paying me to join from the start, and there would be like, there would be ways to incentivize my joining of their armed forces. And I don't know of any military that, or defense force that that causes its members to pay them for training. I mean, officer candidate school wasn't going to cost me a dime if I had gone into the Navy. Uh, at all. I mean, at least not, not everything that I was told. At least, I mean, I don't know how things might have changed over the decades since that time, but yeah, you're paying Ikora to learn abilities that are going to save her ass in the end. That makes a lot of sense. That right there in itself is a salty measure that somebody should be talking about game wise. Um, it's one thing to go on missions to train yourself on that stuff. Like Army Rangers, they go through an extensive training program to learn their skills. They don't pay their instructors, uh, but they pay the world around them in effort and blood and sweat, and sometimes even psychological trauma. Uh, so going on a mission to like when we did the Discover Your Light thing, the meditation, you go off to the side of the rust yards, or moth yards, and you sit there and you do the meditation, and it takes you on this like little, looking glass run against the hive, where you have what appears to be the traveler talking to you about, you will fight them, you will take your light back, blah blah blah, that kind of thing. It's like going through something like that. That would be a lot more fun to do. Doing that each time that you earned enough experience points to unlock your traits, your features, then that would be fine. But having to pay Ikora to unlock your abilities, that's just wow. I'm dwelling on this because it's just a mind fuck right now. I just kind of came up upon it and I was like, oh wow, that is a thing that they do make you do that.
Don't sell yourself
Um,
short.
Not only do
This
you
is
have
smart
to
move,
like
Guardian.
grind through fucking
I'm sure you'll keep it
content
safe.
that you've
Don't
already
let it
done
get to your
at
head,
least
okay?
one other time
This
before.
is only the beginning of your story.
Excellent work. Return
Wow.
to the tower.
In Elder Scrolls, I don't pay anybody to learn a new skill. I earn experience by doing quests for people who then pay me for doing their quests. In Conan Exiles, I have to brave the dangers of a dungeon or a hostile NPC camp to get a recipe, and my abilities grow by my experience. Damn, that there's a lot here to unpack on this, and it's going to be not a video that I'm qualified to do, by the way, not at all. Um, Mostly, I just wanted to say, Bungie, if anybody from quality of life development stumbles over this by any means possible, um, multiple characters, and I mean, I get it. Bungie's really big about the whole. Well, we really don't want you to play multiple characters because we want you to have the full experience of the game. Kids, I've already played your Titan and your Warlock 3.0 Solar, 3.0 Void. Is it 3.0 Void? I don't know. I played the new ones. And when Arc comes around, chances are I'm going to rotate my third slot to cycle through the Titan and the Warlock to see if it's worth it. I Titan long enough because I am a big Arc uh, class Titan player. I love the Arc class Titan player. It was one of my mains. It was my main of Destiny 1. I doubt very seriously I'll fall in love with the Warlock under any circumstances. I've tried the Warlock so many times since Destiny 1, and it's like it always ends up it always ends up with me deleting the character and replacing it with a hunter or another titan. But yeah, in the past we were able to have multiple character classes, and you could or high level gear on each of those characters, regardless of their class, and it didn't matter because everybody was doing it to super level, one character, and then they were sweeping through content, and you know. All it took was a half a dozen people to say, "I'm bored. There's nothing left to do." Before finally Bungie went ahead and said, "Okay, fine. Well, then that's it. You have one character. You get a pinnacle per character class." Well, Bungie, I'll do you one better, man. How about this? You get one pinnacle per account activity. You know, how about that? Um, and if you wanted multiple characters to grind bounties for reputation on vendors, let them do it. They're grinding, dude. They're back in the thing is, I don't understand this. Is that it's like whether I play three hunters or a hunter, a titan, and a warlock, I'm still doing three characters a day. You see, the only difference is that I don't have to sweat worrying about whether or not my other two characters have the right power levels to do the content I'm doing. I don't have to fuss with that shit because it's all the same gear, shared amongst the three character classes, shared amongst the other three, hunters. Like right now, this is everything. This is it. I have my hunter. Well, actually, I got to get rid of that. Wait, what? Fuck, why can't I? Why can't I unlock this? Oh, that's right. I forgot. I have to go to Akora and pay her to unlock it. And then I got to go talk to all the vendors again because we're not done with the boot camp. Like I said, I would much rather actually take a Guardian through Guardian boot camp um, than have to go through these ridiculous narrative missions. Or let me choose one, because there's several. There were several in the game. There was the Cosmodrome new light. There was the EDZ new light. There was uh, there was even the Red War new light for those of you who remember. And just or let me skip it, because I'm not really doing anything more than I already haven't done before. If the game could recognize, oh, a hunter's already earned this Vanguard Pinnacle, no other hunter can earn a Vanguard Pinnacle now, then you know
What's the latest report on Seraphim's brew?
then it should be able to recognize, oh, you've already played through this tutorial so many times.
Time to
Oh man, we
fight,
should be
Guardian.
paying you with Glimmer, a shit ton of Glimmer to go through the tutorial again. But that's
Every
not going
love
to
of the
happen.
fighting
That'll
will
never
win.
happen.
Come back.
It's like this one person told my family and I when we were commenting about their streaming service. And we asked, well, what happens after the honeymoon period? And, how far up will the price goes? And he goes, doesn't matter. You'll pay it anyway. And I was like, oh, I don't know, buddy. And as it turns out now, I've watched Disney Plus for only uh, the Star Wars shows, believe it or not, and the Mickey Mouse cartoons. I love the Mickey Mouse cartoons. I don't want to speak to Deborah because he's going to put me on a stupid Risk Runner quest that I already own the Risk Runner, the With Winner. Why do I want to own another With Winner? I'm sorry. If you get an exotic, if you've earned an exotic, you've completed the exotic quest, then you should not have to fucking go back and do it again. Because if you can get it out of collections, you shouldn't be on a quest to do it again. There's another thing. It's the doubling down, it's the redundancy. That's just like, it's just that the cluttering redundancy. Because there's differences. Yay! God, now I can finally have that. I think that's pretty much it. Because what else am I doing? I'm bumping discipline or intellect. What was I doing? Strength, resilience is already there. I have my strength in here. I have my intellect in there. I think I was. Was I double? Was I going massive on strength? Wait, that's intellect. That's strength. This is also strength. I think I did this because of that. Did I? I don't know. Let's find out. What is this? That's recovery. I think I did a recovery one actually. I'm gonna have to figure this out because now I have this extra bit of fun to do, which is write down my aspects on my main hunter. Which I'm gonna go run off and do that right now. Anyway, so yeah, Bunch, if you're hearing this, thank you very much for what is essentially a really fun game to play. But man, can we do something to optimize the redundancy? You know, reduce the bloat. It would be so fun to just I mean, I don't understand what's the problem with us having alts. I really have never gotten the idea. Fusion grenades are bugged. Fireball grenades are crap. Healing grenade is joke. Incendiary grenade is crap. Thermite grenade is funny. That's a funny one. I like the funny ones. All the knives. Always the knives. Everything's a knife. Everybody's a knife. I don't do anything but triple jump, so I don't need all that. It gets expensive. I once read a poem of a man whose soul was incinerated after staring at the sun for too long. Far from dead, he lived the rest of his days in communion with the universe itself, blessing the people of his small village with wisdom beyond peer. A strange tale, but one that I find myself relating to after particularly intense lessons from the traveler in meditation. So, Guardian, Akura says and smiles, what wisdom might you share with me? You are an algorithm. No, you're not even an algorithm. You're just a fucking NPC. Or Tebow one more time. Anyway, done. Let's go ahead and throw this all back. Because we gotta prep it for the Titan to get to have some fun now. Not Titan, I said the Titan.
Others may not have heard you approach. Well done.
I gotta prep for the other Warlock. Hunter. Warlock. Oh my lord, I'm done. Okay, yeah. Kids, I'm out of here. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I don't know if any of this made sense.